What's up, y'all? I'm your host, Lil T, and do you know what makes my blood boil? The amount of misused renders in this official Nintendo promotional image. This is used everywhere. I see it on Wikipedia, on advertisements, so I must ask, why are there so many different era renders?
Okay, Mario is from Mario Party 10, which came out in 2015. Peach and Wario are from Super Mario Party, which came out in 2018. These are fairly new renders and they mesh well together, so everything's good there. But they just had to put Luigi and Waluigi from Mario Party 7 from 2005! It is so painfully obvious that they look different, and they are right beside each other. And then Yoshi and Bowser are from Fortress Street, which is from 2011, and they look totally different, and Daisy's there from Mario Kart 7, and Boo's from Mario Kart Island 2, it's really just like, ah!
I'll just move on.
The Mario characters have had an interesting history with designs. Let's start all the way back at the beginning with Donkey Kong. Now, early designs weren't very established, and Mario basically looked like just some random Italian guy. DK looked okay, but again, just a generic monkey. Now, Pauline...
Oh my god, I'm sorry, man.
Like I said, nothing was very established. And you know what else wasn't? That's right! Video game copyright laws. Back in the 80s, video games were still relatively new, so there wasn't a lot of copyright laws put in place to protect certain characters or game ideas. So we got a lot of this. Buddy, are you okay? But the funny thing is that as time went on with the arcade era of Mario, his in-game designs were fairly consistent, such as Donkey Kong Jr. and Mario Bros. Being very similar to his original design. However, his out-of-game designs, or just whatever the designer felt like that day, we had cartoonish designs, we had the weird Italian guy design where Mario looks like a Popeye villain, this one that was used on the Intellivision ports, and the CBS design, which is just... why? But then, everything would change in 1985 when we got the most amazing game to ever surface on this earth. The packing game for the NES that we all know and love, Duck Hunt! Now in Duck Hunt, the dog that grabs the ducks that you shoot is actually Mario in disguise, who is really just Luigi! Nah, I'm just kidding. We're of course talking about the original Super Mario Bros. In terms of in-game designs, he looked pretty similar to his previous sprites, except someone spilled some coffee on him and it ended up staining. This was the first introduction of the Super Mushroom, where Mario could either be small or big. So looking back with this previous knowledge, I think Mario from Donkey Kong and DK Jr. are small Mario, and Mario from Mario Bros. Has a mushroom. This could mean that before Mario knew about the Mushroom Kingdom back in the DK days, he was just a short guy. I can relate. And then because in Mario Bros. There's Koopa Troopas and the enemies from the Mushroom Kingdom invading the real world, who's to say a mushroom or two didn't come through one of the pipes and Mario and Luigi didn't take one? Oh, and speaking of which, Luigi was first introduced in Mario Bros. And he was just Mario, but different. Sometimes he was green, sometimes he was white, sometimes he sounded like a salesman.
Hello, Mario.
But that's just in terms of in-game sprites. The way he was portrayed was a lot closer to modern Mario. However, everyone else just wasn't. The mushroom looked like a drug, Hammer Bros looked like a rip-off Popeye, Peach was blonde in the artwork but blonde in the game, and Bowser... Look, I don't even know what's wrong with Bowser. Bowser has always had an inconsistent design, even in the present, which we'll get into more later. But in this era, sometimes he was blue, sometimes he was yellow, sometimes he had a cape, sometimes he was even bald. Ah! The artwork was the last thing on the team's mind when creating Super Mario Bros., so Miyamoto drew the game's art nearing the end of development. However, Miyamoto wasn't satisfied with the art and sought out an artist to redesign the Mario cast, and that man was Yoichi Katabe. He redesigned many enemies and Peach, but the most drastic change was Bowser, who went from being some kind of ox to a turtle dragon. This style was most famously used in Super Mario Bros. 3, and this style would remain omnipresent until this day. But back to the late 80s, Luigi was wearing green, Toad was the way he would always stay, Peach was still swapping between blonde and brunette, and Mario was finally using both red and blue. This would follow into Super Mario Bros. 3, where Mario would finally have all the design attributes we know him to have. On the cover. Yeah, they made his overalls black in the game for some reason, that's why I don't like Mario 3. But then the SNES was released, and alongside it, Super Mario World. And even though this isn't my favorite game in the world, it was the first time Mario had a consistent design both in-game and outside. Red hat and shirt, blue overalls, brown shoes, white gloves. Things were finally coming up sweet. Like apples. Speaking of apples, we were introduced to a new apple-eating, flutter-jumping sidekick being Yoshi. At first, Yoshi used to be a dragon, as shown by dragon coins having Yoshi's face on them. However, Yoshi eventually became a dinosaur. He used to have a much more pronounced tail and looked a lot more reptile-like, but as we all know, he became more circular over time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to where we were. Super Mario World was released, and so was Super Mario Land, which introduced Princess Daisy. She was basically just a peach with orange hair and a yellow dress. Then, Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins was released, and with that, the debut of Wario, Mario's rival, and basically just an overweight Mario with a yellow and pink color scheme, which eventually turned purple for some reason. At this point, Mario was a very popular series with its core cast of characters. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, Daisy, and Wario, with Donkey Kong and DK Jr. still kicking around. And this is how things would stay for the Mario—
Hello!
There's more? With the Nintendo 64 being Nintendo's first 3D console, they needed to convert Mario and his pals into none other than 3D, of course. And they sure did do that. I always loved Mario's N64 design. It's super charming, and I feel weirdly nostalgic even though I'm the same age as New Super Mario Bros. That being said, everyone else looked, a bit off. Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa Troopa, and Wario all crossed into the uncanny valley. Now, because we were on a more powerful console, this could allow for something super important to Mario's design. His voice.
It's me, Mario!
I'm not going to delve too far into this as this could be its own video, but Mario used to have a couple inconsistent voices outside of the video games, such as in the cartoons.
Exactly right, Luigi. And what do plumbers do best? Next to fixing pipes.
However, he never had a voice inside the games. That's when Mr. Charles Martinet landed the role of Mario and would first appear in some Mario pinball machine, but most famously in Super Mario 64. Martinet would go on to voice many other characters including Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Goombas, Thwomps, Womps, Monty Mole, Boos, Drybones, King Boo, and many others. His iconic performance has remained a big part of Mario's design, and I can't imagine Mario being played by anyone else. Not by anyone else.
It's me, Mario.
Look, I don't want to say Chris Pratt will do a bad job. I'm a big fan of him and his work in Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World, the Lego Movie. This isn't really about him. I'm just so confused as why they didn't have Charles Martinet do the voice. Mario has a distinct voice, and I'm not sure how Pratt will be able to replicate it. It could just sound like his voice, like in this Instagram post. Or they can go the opposite route and have him do an Italian accent, which would also probably not be very good either. But like I said, this is a topic for next time. Back to where we were. Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario Golf, Party, Tennis, Smash Bros. Had all similar designs. Now let's completely forget about him. This is where the Mario series would start to round out its edges and by extensions, its designs. At this point, in-game designs were practically identical to the out-of-game ones, with the promotional designs having higher poly models and better lighting, but still similar. The GameCube launched with not a Mario game, but a Luigi game. Luigi's Mansion gave us a first look at the new designs, and while I always found Luigi looked a little bit strange, this model will become the default base Mario design. Thankfully, they got their stuff together in Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Party 4. These models certainly have their charm, but I don't know, the shadowing looks super dark and not very appealing. I get they are trying to go for more realistic proportions and designs, but I don't know, it's a bit much in my opinion. These models lasted a while, from 2001 to around 2006. However, we're not going to move on just yet because there's one turtle dragon in the room that needs to be addressed. Bowser. Bowser went through some identity crises, man. It has less to do with his design, even though that was pretty shaky early on, but it's more so his voice. Bowser used to use edited stock sound effects for the N64 era games. That is until this weird flipping game came around and gave him a voice.
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
In this game, he was voiced by Scott Burns, and no offense to him, I'm sure he's a great guy, but it just doesn't work! I don't know what to say. It's so bad. The weird Uncle Hank voice is too goofy for Bowser, and that's saying a lot for a game about a plumber fighting a turtle. Then, in the Wii era, Kenny James took over the role, and he just sounds like a deep-voiced goofy monster. Which I love. Man, Bowser went through puberty 3 times. That's double what I went through. You know what, I should move on. Like I said earlier, most of the Mario cast was redesigned to the way we know them today. Everything else, such as locations, items, and other characters, would have to wait for their turn to be revamped, and they would get the chance in 2006 with the release of New Super Mario Bros. All the items, objects, enemies, platforms, basically anything that's not a character, was given a new design that are still used today. Do you know how many times I've seen these over a decade-old renders still? A lot. After this point, the Mario characters would remain in the same designs for a while. Galaxy, New Soup Wii, Mario Kart Wii, Super Sluggers, Mario Party 7 and 8, Galaxy 2, all these games had the same designs with no changes. The designs didn't change too drastically, but there were indeed some differences. For instance, compare this render from Mario Party 8 and this render from New Soup 2. The newer one just looks better, cleaner, and brighter. In this period, they would use these newer renders while also using older ones. And I touched on this a bit in the opening joke, but ever since this era until now, Nintendo and companies will use different era renders in the same image. It's mainly things like decorations, posters, can of soup that misuse these renders. However, Nintendo has even committed this crime. For example, let's take one of their worst pieces of media, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and look at the character select screen. How? How do you mess up this badly? It is so obvious this was thrown together quickly to get the game done. Why are there decade-old renders like Waluigi, Peach, and Toad mixed with the new renders like Yoshi, Toadette, and the Sprixie? Like, do people not realize this? This game itself had unique renders. Why not use them? Why use this weird mismatch of renders? Mixing up renders is one of the worst things you can do. Maybe murder, but I haven't looked into it. Where were we again? Oh yeah, for a while renders looked the same, no changes, until one game would release that would change Mario designs forever. And that game was Super Mario 3D World. My god, this game's designs are beautiful. I don't know how to describe it. The shininess, the exaggerated facial expressions, the bright colors, they look amazing. This would continue into Mario Kart 8 and Mario Party 10, which regardless of the game quality, produced amazing render after amazing render. All the main cast, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, Rosalina, the enemies, everybody, they all look so good. Compare this render from New Soup DS and this one from Mario Party 10. Do you people see the glow up? Mario Maker, Ultra Smash, at least the renders they did make, Mario Party Star Rush, Super Mario Run, the one that no one remembers, 8 Deluxe, would all keep the same render style, and things could not get any better in terms of designs. Okay, let's talk about Odyssey. Listen, I love Odyssey and its Mario design. And I don't just mean Cappy. The denim overalls, each individual hair on his face, the shoes, gloves, everything looks amazing. Same with Luigi. I also really love the bow tie, but that's not important. These are amazing designs, and this would be the definitive Mario design if it was consistent. Odyssey and Super Mario Party use this more realistic style, but then New Super U Deluxe, Mario Party The Top 100, Tennis Aces, Mario Maker 2, they all use a more simplified design. And while it looks great, and I honestly prefer it to the Odyssey design, it's just not consistent. Pick one, Nintendo, please. Don't pull at our heartstrings like this. We have a little more inconsistency with the Mario Kart Live Home Circuit and the upcoming Mario Party Superstars using the Odyssey design, and Mario Talk at the 2020 Olympic Games, Mario Kart Tour, and Bowser's Fury using the simplified design. But overall, Mario and his friends are looking better than ever. Even though they've changed designs, I think it's safe to say the Mario cast was and always will be some of the best characters to come out of not just gaming, but pop culture as a whole. And I can't wait to see what becomes of them as time goes on. But why did they make Chris Pratt Mario? I just don't